Hello, and welcome to Ask a NaviGuide, part of the Abundant Aging podcast series. I'm your host, Ashley, and on this show, we talk about things like aging and caregiving issues that can be stressful to work through, and we do it with tips and advice from our United Church Homes NaviGuide team of experts. Our NaviGuides have decades of experience helping families work through tough issues, and we hope you can use some of this advice to help you or someone you love age abundantly. Today we have Kimberly with us, a United Church Homes NaviGuide, who will help us understand dementia and memory care and what you might expect. Please remember the opinions shared in this podcast are not meant to convey or take place of clinical, legal, or other professional advice. So Kimberly, we know you have a long career of working with older adults, starting with a role in memory care at a very young age. So how did your time on that memory care neighborhood drive you to stick through with serving older adults even today?
Well, nice to see you again, Ashley. Thanks for having me. It drove me through just the reward factor. No amount of income that I received shortly after that when I tried to do something different could ever come close to the satisfaction and just fulfillment you got knowing you were serving those that truly needed it the most. And you were more than serving them. You were a friend. Just so many different roles went into working with those seniors.
That's awesome. So we're so glad that you're here today, Kimberly, and looking forward to your experience in this subject. So we know that the progression of dementia is tough, and it may lead to a point where a loved one just has no other option but to receive specialized dementia care. So what sort of places are out there if someone needs additional care?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I actually just answered this question last week for a family that was looking for the same kind of services because, in the past they were able to visit weekly. One of our residents that live in our independent facility apartment community, but they've got a new job. So, they're looking for some of that extra peace of mind, reassurance their loved one's going to be safe, stuff like that. And so there are many things that you can do. One of the obvious is, the memory care units. There's assisted living facilities, nursing homes. There's also something, adult daycare facilities, which is, we have one in Athens, very close to one of my properties. And it is a wonderful resource in the community. Residents can get picked up. They include transportation, picked up in the morning, dropped off in the evening. They provide a safe environment, activities, food, just love, and protection all day long. And then there's also home health. You can consider getting a home health aide in there to sit with your loved one if that works for you. Yeah, so you've got options.
That's awesome. I like the idea of the adult daycare maybe being a nice transition into a longer term care community. So I like that idea. So what are some of, then you listed the different types. What are some of the common or basic services that these places provide?
Which places, just to clarify?
Let's start with senior living communities, like a memory care unit.
Yep. So that particular community would be 24/7, round the clock care. You got your food, those nutritional needs are being met. Safety factors, they'll probably have locked units on the memory care for safety. The activities / quality of life section is provided. Just all around, 24/7 care. The adult daycare facilities is usually from a certain time, but it is full-time care during those particular hours that are selected. Same thing, feeding, activities, different range of activities. They have a lot of fun stuff that comes in there. Petting zoos, spiritual, Bible studies, just fun, And then home health is very tailored to what your preferences are between you and that caregiver.
Mm-hmm. And home health, they come to your home, correct? And adult daycare, though, is when you leave the home and go to a place with other folks, correct? Okay.
Yes, by either your loved one takes you or adult daycares offer transportation.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what experience then constitutes a good standard at one of these locations?
The answer I'm going to give is for all of them, and that is watch and see if they are person-centered, if they're willing to get to know your loved one, and encompass activities that might be of interest to them as opposed to just the standard schedule. That's a very good sign if they're person-centered.
So we hear that a lot in the healthcare realm, person-centered care. So can you explain to me a little bit what that means and what that looks like?
Right. Just like dementia, Alzheimer's, we're all different. It doesn't affect us in the same way it would somebody else. So you want your care to be tailored to you in a way almost. What are the things you enjoyed? What are some of your hobbies? When I work at my independent senior living community, these are questions I ask my residents. Well, what did you do for fun? What about groups? Were you a part of any groups in the past? These are clues into visual cues and stuff that you can bring on board specific to that person to comfort them, make them feel a little more at home in a new environment. It just is going the extra mile, honestly.
Sure. So that sort of helps us uncover if a community or someone that we're looking to send our loved one to is person-centered. But what are other questions that might be good to ask if we're considering memory care for a loved one?
Yeah, definitely want to ask, what are the security features that you take to heart here? Can you show them to me? Let's take a tour. How cleanly is the facility? For hygiene, what do the rooms look like? How many staff is on board at any given time? What are the schedules? Just to make sure that you have that peace of mind your loved one will have the support they need throughout all times of the day.
I've even seen people on social media and online even asking like just the masses, like, what do you think about this service? Is it a good idea to poll the world or your community or maybe your friends on what their experience is or if they've heard anything as well?
Oh, of course, you can definitely ask, get that support, get the feedback, get those second opinions, because you want all the services available. Is there anything I should be asking this nursing home director that I'm missing? I'm not thinking about something. And maybe, hey, ask if they have music therapy. Oh, thank you. I didn't think about that. Stuff like that, because it's always more powerful in numbers.
Right. So are there any, and I'm sure to end that conversation, but I'm sure there are also, if you would Google such a thing, that you might be able to find some good questions that are commonly asked for something like that as well. So are there any other good resources that you could use to evaluate memory care neighborhood?
Yes. One that I'm biased to because I love them and they do so good. The Alzheimer's Association has a 24/7 helpline, and some of these questions they'll be able to assist you with in terms of resources in your community for the memory care units, adult daycare, stuff like that. And also point you in the direction of a support group if that's something you're interested in. And in a support group, many people share their experiences of what is working and what maybe they didn't have a great experience with that'll help your care.
So those support groups, are they online or are they like a support group in your own community?
Both. Just like you think of any kind of support group that comes to mind, counseling, divorce, just any kind of subject, it's the same thing. They go virtual, they go at somebody's home 1 month, another member's the next, and it's just a really valuable network to have on your unique journey.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you so much for that. Is there anything else that you think our audience should know about this topic, or any other resources that you've used or advice that you can give for someone going through the journey of whether to put their loved one in a memory care unit or some sort of adult daycare service?
Yeah, definitely find support. Don't do this alone. There is so much to learn. I'm still learning, and I've been in this field, you never stop learning. So definitely continue to get that support. Reach out to your local area agency on aging, local community, Google, Call the senior centers that you're familiar with. Sometimes they have one strictly for just a community senior center. Definitely reach out and get all of your questions answered because they matter, and you're doing a fantastic job by even asking and wanting the best care for your loved one.
Awesome. So do your research is what I'm hearing. Put in the time. Right. So thank you so much for your insights today, Kimberly. And as always, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And thank you for listening to this episode of Ask a NaviGuide, part of the Abundant Aging podcast series, brought to you by United Church Homes. Please like, share, and subscribe to the show so we can bring you more content like this. You can also find us at abundantagingpodcast.com. For more information about the UCH NaviGuide program, please visit uchnaviguide.org. And for more information about United Church Homes, please visit unitedchurchhomes.org. We'll see you next time.